Hey, what's up everybody, it's Purple Driven Live Sports and I'm back here for another NBA video. So in the last video I talked about the Warriors, Rockets, and the Bucks and Celtics. In this video I'm going to be talking about tonight's matchups between the Nuggets and Blazers, which is going to be back in Denver for Game 5. And then you have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors, which is back in Toronto. So for the Raptors and 76ers series, I'm picking Toronto to win Game 5, but every game to me has been close except for the one game where Philadelphia exploded in Game 3. I think we're not going to see a lot of games like that because Toronto's defense has just been excellent. And last game I saw a lot of contributions from everybody from Toronto. I didn't hear a lot about Fred VanVleet, which still worries me because to me he's been missing in the playoffs so far. And I think for them to be successful is that Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet have to really get back to scoring and shooting the ball well. Not worried about Danny Green. Definitely not worried about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is shooting 60% from the field in the playoffs. So, like I said, I'm not worried about him. And the fact that he's doing it on both ends of the court, he's guarding, he's rebounding, his playmaking has to get better, which is probably what he's going to work on in the offseason, is that Kawhi Leonard's just doing everything. He's scoring 32, 33 points a game. He's playing defense, like I said. So Kawhi Leonard's just doing the whole thing. He's the whole package. You know, we compare him to a guy like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. That's cool and all, but to me, he's just kind of becoming his own player. He's kind of, to me, like a Scottie Pippen who can score the ball. That's what I think he is. A Scottie Pippen who has a perimeter jump shot. To me, that's a better comparison than comparing him to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. But I'm not here for the comparisons. I'm just here to talk about the game. So we'll talk about that in a different video, I think. That would be a good thing to actually talk about in a different video. But back to 76ers and Raptors is that I don't trust Joel Embiid, man. And I don't trust his health, period. The fact that he's missed 60% of the games that he could have played in since his rookie year is just, that's terrible. I think he only played in 59 games. He's sick. He's got a sore knee. So I don't think that needs 100% recovered yet. I think it's about 80%. But him saying, I told you guys in the last video about the 76ers and Raptors that him calling his coach at 6:30 in the morning saying I might not be able to play because I'm sick. You play through, and he did play, but he went 2 of 7 from the field. I'm not trusting the maturity of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Right now, it's just those two have been so inconsistent, especially Joel Embiid shooting from the field. To be an elite player, you got to make shots. And to me, to also be elite, you got to be efficient in choosing your shots. Going 2 of 7, well, first off, that's terrible. That's terrible shooting efficiency. And second off, you're Joel Embiid. You say you're the most dominant player in the league. Why only shooting 7 shots? Can somebody explain that to me? I mean, I heard you're shooting 93% from the free throw line. That's good and all. But if you're only shooting 7 shots from the field, boy, you better be working your ass off, and you better be getting down into that paint. I'm kind of getting sick of all this talk about how good he is. Well, I got to see it in the playoffs. That's where you make your money at, man. So, until he really shows out that he can consistently average the 27 and 13 rebounds that he averaged in the regular season, 27 points, 13 rebounds, over 2 blocks a game, because he's also a great defensive presence. He's actually still blocking about over 2.5 shots a game. Until you can show me that you're willing to get down into the block and score your points, then I don't trust you. Ben Simmons, like everybody says, that jump shot has hindered him. Yes, it has. He's playing good defense. To me, it just hinders the team's offense because he doesn't want to attack because he doesn't want to get fouled because he's not a good free throw shooter either. I don't have much else to say about Ben Simmons. It's just that you had a whole offseason to really correct this issue. You didn't correct it. Now we're seeing why you have to take the offseason seriously. And when somebody says you got to get that jump shot fixed, you get that jump shot fixed, young man. I'm not kidding about this. If Philadelphia wants to take this to the next level, they can probably bring the starting 5 back. They're going to need a better bench. I would probably bring back, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, bring back either Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris, one of those guys. Find a way to fit JJ Redick under the cap, but at least get 2 bench players at positions where they can play two-way, or guys who can play 2 different positions each for those 2 bench players, and build the team like that, because I don't think bringing back all 5 stars and having just one guy off the bench is going to help you. This team, they got to get more mature, especially Simmons and Embiid. You have to be more mature, and you have to be able to score the ball. Ben Simmons, you got to be able to shoot it. You're hindering your team by not being able to shoot, because then they can sag off of you, even though you're good at cutting to the basket and at the rim you have a good hook shot. If he could shoot, man, boy. Because he's not like a Giannis. He's not the center of the team. That's Joel Embiid. So that's why it hinders the team. Now, for the Nuggets and Blazers, this series has just gone back and forth. It's been awesome. I expect more fireworks, because every game has been close. And I love it, because it's so entertaining to watch. Both teams just shoot the ball well. You got scorers like Damian Lillard, who's actually had a good game. But then Jamal Murray had a great game. Nikola Jokic is just getting better. I said in the last video yesterday is that Denver is just finding different ways to get better each game, which has really impressed me. And because of their toughness, they're willing to fight. This is the reason to me why the series is actually, why Denver is actually tied it, because I actually thought the Blazers could win this in either 5 games. I still picked the Blazers in 7, but Denver's made it tough because of their shooting, and they've really done a good job guarding Damian Lillard. That's one thing I got to say about Denver, is that even though I don't consider them an elite defensive team, is that they're in a lot of games this series that they've done a great job of guarding Damian Lillard and making sure that he doesn't get off 3-point shots. And if he does, a lot of times he's actually missing those shots because he's not in a rhythm, because they're doing a good job of limiting those shots. CJ McCollum has played a great series. I think Game 3 they won was mainly because of CJ. That's just what I think. And if him and Lillard are having both 25 points a game, like I said, this series will belong to the Blazers. So to me, they have to be efficient. Like, they got to be efficient and find ways to get open shots. Enes Kanter has just been getting knocked around, but to me, he stood his ground. I don't know if there really is an answer for, Nikola Jokic. If there's one thing you have to do is just... I can't tell you guys, man. I don't know. How do you guard this guy? Because he can shoot the 3. He's not a bad 3-point shooter either. He's a great free throw shooter. He's got post moves. And the fact that he can pass, it just makes it's a cherry on top. He's even better passer than he is in any other part of his game. That's one thing I got to say about European players, that they really know how to pass. But anyway, the whole team revolves around his passing and him being able to create offense. And he's just so good. Jamal Murray, like I said, this man can just flat out score. He can shoot the ball. He's got a good mid-range. He's fearless driving to the basket. He's a great free throw shooter. Got Gary Harris. He's a good two-way player. I love this Denver team because they have so many parts of this team that make them great. So, but this series, man, I'm picking the Blazers to win this game just because I picked them in 7. I would not be surprised if Denver won. To be honest, I might actually pick Denver because they're at home. But I can't definitively say, man. I like both these teams. This series has just been so even. Like, Jesus. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. This is my take on the 76ers Raptors series. And this is also my take on the Blazers and Nuggets series. Once again, thank you guys for listening. This is my take. And I'll see you guys later.